about myself this evening. Can we do that? Yeah, good. I never get to do that at a comedy show, so that makes me feel very powerful. My name is Jes Tom. As a queer, non-binary, trans, Asian American stand-up comic, I haven't even told any jokes yet. But I get asked to do stand-up in a lot of different places, you know. I do comedy clubs, I do straight bars, and then I get to do stuff like this, which is really, really cool. And I just want to be real with you that doing stand-up for queer people makes me more nervous than anything else. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because it's hard to make queer people laugh. You know, because we've seen some shit. We've been through some shit. It's hard to make us laugh. Like, you know, a stand-up comic is like, so, where are you from? We're like, generations of trauma in the diaspora! We're like, I didn't budget to talk to another person today. Not today. I do want to make one thing clear with you before I go any further. I'm not a lesbian, I just hate men. That's why I look like this. I actually recently was on my way to the train. I passed by a newsstand. They had People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive, and I was like, you know what? I don't agree with People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive because I don't think it's sexy when men are alive. It's Trump's America. The real opinions are coming out. This is how I feel, guys. How are we feeling about Trump's America? Okay, good, thank God. I feel really good asking a question in a room like this. Sometimes I ask that question at my straight bar shows and someone in the dark will go, woo, and I'm like, now I have to duck. I don't feel safe, I do not feel safe anymore. Since the election, have been invited to a number of surprise parties. This is true. They've been surprise parties for queer people too, so I'm like, is this a good idea? Like, is this the historical moment for us to be hiding in queer people's houses and then bursting out when they're not expecting it? Like, is that a nice thing to do to our friends? But I was at one of these surprise parties. These were white queer people, so I was like, you know what, they could use a scare. So I'm there, and I'm hiding behind the couch. And my friend, who's this white straight woman, she looks down at me, she goes, wow, Jes, you're really taking this hiding thing seriously. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready for Trump's America. I'm gonna have to hide, because you know, the thing is, I don't have a fight body. I don't. Like, I've already decided, and I decided this a long, long time ago, that in the case of any revolutionary or apocalyptic event, and I don't know what it is, if it's climate change, race war, zombie apocalypse, that thing where the wave comes over New York City, like the day after tomorrow. I'm just going to go out in the first round. I'm just going to go out. And it'll be stress that does it too. I won't even make contact with anything. I'll just see it on Twitter and be like, oh God, no! Like a rodent, my heart will just beat so fast. I tell that to my friends sometimes and they get kind of upset. They're like, Jes, no. You're going to survive with us. You're going to be on our team. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was a Girl Scout for 13 years in San Francisco. They didn't let us touch fire. My survival skill is star power. You can't eat that. You can't do anything with that. I have been making some changes to my life to deal with life under the new regime. For example, I have stopped wearing headphones in public for fear of getting hate crimed, but now I have to overhear straight people talking, which seems like a hate crime. Learned a lot about henna hair dye. It's too much. I have begun to learn to play top 40s radio hits on the ukulele in order to pass as a white girl. Yes. So that in the case that we go to war with China and they come for me, I can be like, no, don't you want to hear? You can have whatever you like. Formation, that's for me. Right? Doesn't anybody want to hear a folk cover-up formation? It's real, it's rough. I've started going out to auditions, which is very exciting for me. That's something I've dreamed about doing my whole entire life. Spoiler alert, there's not a lot of roles out there for this. This is not what people are looking for. I have been saying, though, that if my acting career goes the way that I want it to, I will get to be the next Scarlett Johansson. Maybe I'll get to play an Asian person on screen. Who knows? I don't know, guys. I got big, crazy dreams. They're big and crazy. What's love got to do with it? I'll tell you what I am excited about under the Trump regime is all the apocalypse sex. Yes, is anybody having apocalypse sex? Yes. It's funny, I'm kind of like, well, joke's on Trump. He got elected president, queer people are stressed now, we have to fuck the tension away. Like, people are like, we're 4 weeks into the Donald Trump presidency, and I'm like, oh, I thought we were 4 fingers in. Am I the only one who's been measuring in fingers? I don't know. I did start seeing a new person rather recently, right around the inauguration, actually. And then Donald Trump got inaugurated, and now we're married. I'm just kidding, we're not married. I'm never going to get married. That's going to be illegal in like 2 weeks. Whoa. I know, that joke was really funny like a month ago, and now everyone's on Twitter like, did that happen? Did that happen yet? No, it's not. It's all good. We're okay. It is interesting, though, me and this person, so this is another Asian American person that I'm dating, and this is actually the first time I've ever dated another Asian American before. Did you know we can do that? I know, we can do that. I am half Japanese and half Chinese, 5th generation American. Her family's from Hong Kong, 1st generation American. We can totally do that. One thing that's really cool about being an Asian person who's dating another Asian person is that I can finally live out some of my problematic sexual fantasies. Yes, finally, I can be your concubine, finally. I've been waiting. It's exciting. So me and this person, we've only been doing the thing for a month, which I know doesn't sound like a long time when I say it out loud. But we're queer people, so it's actually an awfully long time. Like, 1 month in queer time means that we've already held each other naked crying about trauma. I'm like, if you haven't cried together during sex, are you truly fluid bonded? Straight sex is like, please don't come on my face. Queer sex is like, I can't tell if I'm tasting cum or tears. It's just all salty. It's all salty. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. This has been awesome. I have been thinking, obviously, a lot about the direction that we're moving in as a country and as a culture, about this historical moment that we're in. Because, as I said, I am a 5th generation American, I am Japanese American, and my grandmother did go to internment camp during World War II. So my grandmother, who's a 3rd generation American, and her whole family went to internment camp when she was about 8 years old. And then after they left internment camp, my grandma, who'd been born in the Bay Area, was displaced to Salt Lake City, Utah. So my grandma ended up doing the rest of her schooling in Salt Lake City, Utah. She was in about the 3rd grade. And in my grandma's 3rd grade classroom, every day, the whole class would stand, put their hands over their hearts, and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And every day, the little white boy sitting next to my grandma would turn his head to her and whisper in her ear, "What are you standing for? This isn't your country. You're a Jap." So this would go on every single day. Until one day my grandma decided she had had enough of that. And on this day, just like any other day, the whole class stood, put their hands over their hearts, got ready to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And just like any other day, this little white boy turned his head to my grandma, and my grandma took her pencil and stabbed him in the hand.